People who call Zohran Mamdani a communist just don't know what communism is. He is a democratic socialist. That means that he's going to use democracy. He's going to play by the rules like he did and create a system that is better than capitalism.
China is going to inspire socialist revolutions throughout the entire world, including in the United States.
Impressive. People are in desperate need of change, and the amount of people celebrating the victory of Zohran Mamdani proves how much this change is needed. In a country where capitalism takes the lead, coming up with a different ideology is hopeful. And that's the reason some people would want to move to New York City because they want to move where change is likely to happen. Are people this desperate? Seriously? Capitalism is a vice.
To all you non-New Yorkers who are saying you want to move to New York now that Mamdani won because he's such a cool mayor. That's my mayor. I'm moving to New York. I'm moving to New York. Stop. Stop right there. I got to stop you because if you all move to New York, the rent prices are going to go up. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, the rent prices are going to skyrocket. And I promise you, that is not what New Yorkers want right now. No, speaking as someone who's lived in Brooklyn for 12 years and has seen gentrification in real time, not fun. Don't do this to them, okay? New Yorkers have been through hell since COVID. It never stopped, okay? Like ongoing. Other places may have recovered. New York, it's been downhill for them since 2020. Okay, so let them have this moment. Let them have this one. This is about them. It's not about you, okay? And also don't make the job harder on the man. Like, he's telling you he wants to lower rent prices and you think moving there in hordes is going to help with that plan? Sit your ass down. Sit your ass down. If anything, be inspired to organize in your city to have something like that happen for you.
Some people don't even know what he stands for, but from what he says, they believe that he's likely to bring about change.
This fucker should be our president.
Who?
Mamdani dressing down Cuomo at this debate.
Mr. Cuomo, I have never had to resign in disgrace. I have never cut Medicaid. I have never stolen hundreds of millions of dollars from the MTA. I have never hounded the 13 women who credibly accused me of sexual harassment. I have never sued for their gynecological records, and I have never done those things because I am not you, Mr. Cuomo. And furthermore, the name is Mamdani. M-A-M-D-A-N-I.
The name is Mamdani.
Mr. Cuomo.
That's a name and face you're gonna get to know. When a cup of coffee is $15, it's a fucking problem. I thought his answer was pretty freaking on point. And he just didn't hesitate. And he said, I'm not going anywhere. If I'm hired to take care of New York City, that is where my business belongs. My job is to take care of New York City, not to get the opinions from anybody else in the world. To take care of New York City, and I'll listen to what the people of New York City have to say. And that's why he got elected. He's only 33 years old, so he's not yet in anybody's pocket, and he's not afraid to go up against even Trump. So it just reinforces that we need to stop looking at labels, and we need to look at policies. What specifically do these people want to do to affect change for their constituents?
Hey, I don't know what Mamdani stand for and all that, but when he said New York is a city of immigrants, built by immigrants, powered by, I don't know what Mamdani stand for and all that, but when he said New York is a city of immigrants, built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant, that was tough. Then he hit him with, so if you want to get to any of us, you got to get through all of us. Dang.
So what can we learn from the elections in America last night? A lot has been made of the identity of the winning candidates. The first Muslim mayor of New York, the first female governor of Virginia. They were all Democrats, they were all anti-Trump. But if you look at what they actually had in common, it wasn't the type of politicians they were, because they're all from very different parts of the Democratic Party. What they had in common was they all campaigned on affordability, the cost of living crisis. And under the current government, people are struggling to pay their bills, to buy their groceries, to pay their rent. That appears to be what voters actually voted on. Not so much who they were voting for, but what they could deliver for voters. As the old adage goes, it's the economy stupid in all of these elections. And that's probably going to be the issue going forward in future elections. Can a candidate actually answer that affordability question? All the winners last night seem to do that better than their competition. So, yes, anti-Trump sentiment, yes, the Democrats did well, but fundamentally voters just want to be able to afford to live.
The most interesting thing about Zohran Mamdani winning is how little support he got from the Democratic Party and how little that ended up actually mattering. I mean, it sounds obvious, but it is worth saying. The Democratic Party doesn't tell us who to vote for. We tell them. They work for us. But I mean, every election you hear somebody talking about electability. Who's the most pragmatic choice? We can't ask for too much. What has that ever gotten us? I mean, what is electability really? Anybody is electable if they get enough votes. Zohran got over 1 million votes. I mean, this isn't just politics. This is how power works everywhere. Everything in the system is designed to make you feel isolated. You are an individual in the job market. You are a voter choosing between political parties. Everything in the system is designed to make you forget that you are a part of something larger, which is the source of all power and legitimacy. It's trying to make you see the world perfectly backwards, to make you think that people in power are giving you something, and you should thank them for it. But every once in a while, something like this happens, and you get a glimpse of the truth, which is that we already have all the power. We don't have to thank anybody. Business owners don't create jobs. Customers create jobs. Demand creates jobs. Business owners do everything in their power to not create jobs. That is always an option of last resort. And when things get tight, that's the first thing that gets cut. Political parties don't create change. They resist change. They are designed to prevent change. People create change. Primaries create change. I mean, the political and capital class are not the source of power. They are intermediaries in a system that depends entirely on our participation. I mean, you hear people say now, like, oh, he's going to get blocked by the city council. Oh, he's going to get blocked by the state assembly. It's like, yeah, that's why we got to replace them too. That's how it works. My point is that we don't need a new political party. We already have a political party. It's just a matter of taking it.
So there's a lot of takes that, Zohran Mamdani, that is now the newly elected mayor of New York, has got nothing to do with South Africa. But there is something that we can learn from that. Is, in his case, 26 billionaires spent $22 million to stop him becoming the mayor of New York. And yet he still did. And what we can take away from that is active citizenry. If we want change, we need to get involved. We need to be voting for people that are going to look after working people and make South Africa better for everyone. Yeah, let's not forget that. He comes from Africa. He was born in Uganda, schooled in South Africa.
People who call Zohran Mamdani a communist just don't know what communism is. He is a democratic socialist. That means that he's going to use democracy. He's going to play by the rules like he did and create a system that is better than capitalism. He will try to use our tax money on things that will actually help people and pay off in the long run, like free childcare means that families can be more productive members of society. Better infrastructure, better public transportation, free buses means that people can get around more and spend their money more. All these rich people will make our government go bomb children in Gaza for 2 years just so the weapons manufacturers can make a little bit more money and so their real estate developer buddies in Israel can have new property to develop. Honestly, it is sick. Capitalism is a disease. So what is communism? Communists think that you need to do more than just play by the rules. You have to seize their property. These capitalists like Elon Musk and Donald Trump are only powerful because they own so much of our economy. There would be no Donald Trump if you weren't allowed to own several blocks of New York City. Communists think that the working class, the everyday people, have to take control of the government and use it to dispossess the capitalist class. All the rich people who are running our country need to have all of their property taken and put under the control of the government until there is no capitalist class. Everyone, might have a little bit of property here or there, but no one has enough to where they can become Donald Trump again. That process of transferring all the property from being privately owned and hoarded by a few rich people to being publicly owned, managed by the working class state, is called socialism. And the end goal is communism. Like, you don't need a landlord. It could just be someone's job to manage the properties. It already is actually someone's job. Landlords hire property managers. So there doesn't need to be someone owning it to manage property in society. You could just have a more sophisticated system. But yeah, Zohran Mamdani, Democratic Socialist, they're not transferring all of that property from the rich to the public necessarily. Maybe the state-run grocery stores or something like that, but he's not trying to bring us to communism. It's just a better way to spend tax money, and it shouldn't be controversial at all, actually. Maybe communism shouldn't be that controversial either. 300 years from now, when AI is growing all the food in the world and building all the buildings, it doesn't all need to be owned by one dude. We could just have AI and have technology and have production and manage it responsibly with renewable energy for the needs of all people, instead of just to profit a few assholes.
China is going to inspire socialist revolutions throughout the entire world, including in the United States. They're already the most technologically advanced country in the world, with an economy that actually works for all of their citizens, and they haven't even reached socialism yet. What they're doing right now is speed running through the capitalist stage of economic development on their way to the goal of reaching socialism by 2050. They just released their 15th five-year plan with their goals for the next 5 years. What they're doing is frankly incredible. They have a long-term vision with a stated goal of achieving socialism to create a better world for all of their citizens. And the results already are amazing. Compare that to what we have in the United States. We have a two-party political system where both parties serve the ultra-wealthy and corporate interests. The Democrats refuse to listen to any of their voters. The Republicans are historically comparable to Nazis. We have a president who is a reality TV star idiot who legislates based on tweets. The closest thing we have to a plan is Project 2025, which is just a goal to send us back to feudalism. The end goal of everything is just to make money for the ultra wealthy, with no concern for where it comes from or who gets hurt along the way or what's actually created by it. China is going to be the envy of the world in countries like this. People are going to see what they're doing over there and go, why can't we have that too? And as things get worse and worse over here and better over there, you think revolution's not going to happen? Really? And China seems down to help. At least there's that.
Zohran Mamdani is about to change politics in the United States. I'm going to show you some data that I think proves why every single American should be celebrating this change. But first, because he does represent significant change, the system is going to fight back. This is what's driving headlines like this one and this one. This is a normal and predictable response, not just to Mamdani, but to the movement he represents. But I'm going to show you why that movement is absolutely essential for the survival of the working class. First, look at this table. In 1940, the top marginal tax rate was 94%. After adjusting for inflation, this means that single filers making over $1.5 million and couples making over $3 million paid 94% of all money over that threshold in taxes. Basically saying, congratulations, you won capitalism. Now you get to help pay for the things that avoid the worst parts of it. But by the 1980s, Ronald Reagan had trashed the tax bracket, while simultaneously dismantling unions, which together built a system designed to siphon wealth from the working class to the investor class. Now let's look at how that timeline coincides with the income gap between the working class and the billionaire class. This is a chart of the total combined billionaire wealth represented in red and the wage of the average worker in blue, both in 2023 dollars. Specifically in the age of FDR, wages for the average worker doubled in the 50 years from 1930 to 1980. And you didn't need a 4-year degree to get those wages either. Meanwhile, in the 45 years since 1980, the number of billionaires billionaires in the United States grew from single digits to over 900 today. Their combined wealth grew from about 50 billion to over 5.5 trillion. A 110-fold increase in billionaire wealth, while the average worker's wage increased barely 25%. The fact is, the exponential wealth curve that represents fewer than 1,000 Americans is proof that something is badly broken. The survival of the working class in the United States depends on our ability to fix it. But this will not be easy because the people benefiting from that system are bankrolling politicians with one hand and buying up media outlets with the other. But the good news is this isn't even a political issue. This is how Trump tricked so many people into supporting him. He did come from outside of our political system. And he said a lot of the right things about our broken economic system, which for those of us looking for change checked one important box. The MAGA voters failed to check the other box because Donald Trump is still a billionaire, produced by the exact same corrupt economic system that created every other billionaire. But unless he magically breaks his 79-year trend line of me first, everyone else last, neither he nor the Peter Thiel sock puppet who currently goes by the preferred name of J.D. Vance are capable of fixing this broken system on behalf of the rest of us.
Dear Americans, congratulations. Now, I know it was only New York that voted, but congratulations to America, because you now have within America, within your national system, the new model, the new hope, the new way of community building, the new identity, where you now have a Republican Party that is splintering and falling apart, and a Democratic Party that was sclerotic and was going nowhere because it couldn't by little increments get to where it needed to be. In New York, you had Zohran Mamdani just completely take up a whole new position, which is fresh, which is new, which is representative, and now you have that seed in America around which others can rally and take from. And that is something that now cannot be put back in the box. Yes, all these forces will rail at him. Yes, they will try and undo him in every way they can. And America has a long history of taking out leaders that it doesn't like. But nevertheless, and this is why New Yorkers and other Americans really need to rally behind it, because you have here the seed of opportunity and new hope. And it's absolutely phenomenal that in a 3-horse race, Mamdani would win with over 50% of the vote, as a 34-year-old Muslim man saying what he's prepared to say about socialism, community, Israel, the lot. So you've got this now, New York. Don't fumble it. And for the rest of America, you've got a new model which increasingly links up with new feelings emerging elsewhere in the Western world about who we are as humanity, what we stand for as humanity. We have lots of the same sclerotic systems that are feeling really overstretched right now in politics and in media. And together, this is not just a New York thing. It's not just a Pan-American thing. This is pan the Western world, and it's right across humanity. We work together. We need to work together to bring in the new model of multiracial, multi-religious, doesn't matter, as long as you're pro-humanity and pro-everyone. This is what we need to bring together, and it's starting to emerge. So congratulations again, America. Let's do this together.
So I saw this video of a guy explaining why Zohran Mamdani's policies to target the ultra-wealthy will actually end up hurting New York City. And his rationale was that the wealthy provide so much, from jobs to giving back to their community in ambiguous ways. And I just want to challenge that. Let's look at Amazon, for example. Do they provide a lot of jobs? Yeah, but they also have high turnover rates, and their workers are underpaid, overworked, and are injured on the job quite often. Additionally, Jeff Bezos himself said that he wants his workers to come to work terrified every day. So what kind of work environment is that? So yes, will his policies target the ultra-wealthy? Yeah, but who are they going to benefit? The working class. And who makes up New York City? The working class.
I want to build up from that idea to pass something across. I read from the comment section that, anyway, socialism cannot work in America, but should we really discourage people who want change and who have seen change and would want to adopt the change and who are yearning for the change they have seen happening in your country? Kindly. So, guys, from this clip you're about to watch right here, let me mention this. I respect you, my viewers. You've kept this journey going, guys. But can we at least encourage those who try to speak a language that isn't their native language? And whenever I bring a creator here whose accent I know isn't clear if you aren't reading the caption, for us who aren't native speakers, we can hear, we can hear clearly what he's talking about, because we are not speaking perfectly as well. So kindly, this has a lot to tell, this clip. So kindly just listen, and if you can't, read the caption. I request you to do that because I really want this message to be passed across. Thank you.
Americans, are you sure you like socialism? 34-year-old Zohran Mamdani just won the New York City mayoral race. He is widely described as a democratic socialist, and after talking with many young Americans, I have noticed something striking. More and more of them have lost faith in capitalism and are turning toward socialism as a new hope. Because in their eyes, China, same as a socialist country, has achieved enormous success. So the logic goes, if socialism worked for China, maybe it could work for us. But here is the problem. Most Americans don't actually understand why China's version of socialism worked. And it's not because of free buses, free healthcare, or equal pay. Slogans are easy, reality is complicated. You have probably heard the term socialism with Chinese characteristics. So, what exactly are those characteristics? In my view, they come down to two key ideas: an effective market and active government. The effective market means the market decides resources allocation. Anyone who has done business in China knows it's one of the most brutally competitive markets in the world. The Chinese government is now building a united national market to make competition even more efficient. But markets are not perfect. That's where the active government comes in to fix what the market cannot or won't fix, breaking down local protectionism, planning long-term strategies, and pushing forward reforms that individuals alone cannot achieve. In short, China's system is not state over market. It's a constant dynamic balance between the two, like yin and yang, requiring skill, pragmatism, and constant adjustment. That's why socialism with Chinese characteristics succeeded, and why the old Soviet model failed. So yes, congratulations to Mamdani on his victory, but whether he can build an active government without collapsing into inefficiency, that's the real test. To those who now romanticize socialism, just remember, China's success came not from rejecting the market, but from mastering it. Anyway, unpacking China and the shifting world around it. Follow for first-hand insights on how people, ideas, and opportunities are moving in this new global era. Check my back page for more. Thank you.